Hey guys, welcome to another Molly lineup guide. We have already done one for Bind, Split, and Ascent. So now we're gonna go ahead and do one for Haven. Let's get it. Alright, let's start out here on A site.
Spike
First
drops.
plant is you plant
Spike
on
here.
the left side of the site of default. Okay? So the first lineup is you jump on
Right
top
here.
of the sandbag, wedge yourself in this corner, and you line up your the tip of your molly to this rock, the tip of this rock, okay? It can be between left or right.
Molly.
So you just pop it, and it should land perfectly on the bomb here. Okay? Like that. Alright, next up
Got the spike.
is if you plant it on the
Spike
more
drops.
of the right
Spike here.
side of the site, same thing, go to the same spot over here in long, jump onto the
Right here.
sandbag right here, and then this time you line up the tip of your molly icon with the right side of the rock, the shorter one, okay? So it's just like
Molly.
this. Pop it, and it should land perfectly on the bomb here, okay?
Got the
Alright,
spike.
so next up would be for planted more
Spike
in
drop.
the middle of default, okay? First lineup would be this one. This is from Ethos. This is where you line up your crosshair with this tree and then you just pull it all the way down right above the boxes and you just aim right here. Shoot
Molly.
it should bounce off the wall and land onto the default plant right here. Next up would be also, again, going into this Long Cubby. This lineup, the previous one for the left side of the site should
Molly.
also work for this plant. Let's just show you guys here. It works and it will cover the plant as well. So they can't defuse, but they can still jump on it. It'll be really close for them to jump on. Okay, another lineup is right here. You jump onto the Wheelbarrow. You line up with this corner of the rock. You line up the line between Stim Beacon and Molly icon, the right side of that line to that corner.
Molly.
You shoot it. And it should bounce and land perfectly on the bomb. Just like that. Alright. Next up is the deny lineups, okay? So you can deny the plant of enemy coming onto site from heaven. You can just aim anywhere at this box.
Molly.
And it should just bounce off
Molly.
onto site and deny the plant. Just anywhere
Molly.
in this 4 square, okay? It will deny the plant. If you're smoked out, a good way to do it is just aim at these bells here and you just peek out. Actually, aim right above these bells, I guess, and just peek
Molly.
out, and you can just do it like that, or just aim at this tip.
Molly.
Either way, it should be able to deny the plant. Okay. And then there's another deny lineup from B-Link
Right
over here.
here.
You can wedge yourself in the corner or not. You just aim anywhere down here in the white.
Molly.
Okay, you pop it, and it should land perfectly covering default plant. Alright. And then there's this other one, which is found by Paris. Is you line up with this line here, the break of the box, and then you line up the right side of the tip of the molly icon, the shorter tip of the molly icon with this roof support. Just like this. And then you have to make sure you have to crouch, okay? So you crouch and then shoot it.
Molly.
It'll go through the window and it'll bounce on the site and then lands perfectly in the middle for this default plant. Alright, next up would
Got
be
the
for
spike.
planting under heaven. So for
Spike drops.
sometimes any odd reason that you're planting under heaven that you're forced to, there's a lineup for that, and Paris again is the one who found it. So you come into Long Cubby
Right here.
stand on top of the Wheelbarrow, you line up the letter underneath your molly icon to this circle right in the middle. So I have a Q, so my Q is right in the middle of that circle there.
Molly.
Shoot it. And it should land perfectly onto the bomb here. Perfect. Okay. Next is
Got the
if you were
spike.
to plant under heaven, which sometimes it happens. So you
Spike
plant
drop.
right here. A different under heaven, right by these boxes. Again, you also come long here into this cubby.
Right
Stand on
here.
top of the Wheelbarrow. And this one is also found by Paris. Is you lined up with this corner over here. Again, with the letter underneath the molly icon, just like this.
Molly.
Shoot it. And it should land perfectly on the bomb, covering that diffuse. All right, next up, same thing.
Right here.
This other one's found by ethos is you also jump on top of this wheelbarrow. This time you line up your crosshair with this light, and then you just drag it all the way down to right above the roof here, and then you just shoot it.
Molly!
And it should, again, land perfectly. And this one covers the boxes, so you can
Plant the spike.
farther in there towards that side, and it will be perfect. All right. There's also another lineup, which was also found by ethos, which is all the way out here. Very situational. For some reason, you end up over here. I tried this. You cannot really hear the bomb diffuse from here. So I would suggest maybe if you were out here, you just shoot it first, and then you walk closer to defend the bomb. You can go long, as it is planted for long perfectly. So what happened is this lineup is you just aim right down here. You just line up with this corner and just pull it all the way down here.
Molly!
And you just shoot it. And then it will land perfectly on the bomb here. And so for some reason you're out here, you just shoot it, and then I would just come over here and just try to jiggle long. And if you have ult, it'll work out better.
Got the spike.
So next up would be for planting backside.
Spike drops.
And these two lineups for that spot was found by a YouTuber called Beast Plays YouTube. The first lineup is you come over here to CT. You line up with this rock. Just make sure yourself is wedged against the barrier here. And so you line up the tip of the molly icon with the leaf and the building. So like this, you see the tip of the molly icon is right there.
Molly!
Shoot it. And it will land perfectly on the bomb here. Okay. Another lineup is right here in the corner, where you just wedge yourself in the corner, and you just have to make sure you line up the corner of the shoot assist rectangle with these two edges. At the same time, making sure your crosshair is right above the boxes. So you see, I'm lining up the corners with this brick, and then I shoot it, and it should bounce off the back of the wall and perfectly landing on defending the spike. Alright, so next up would be for the combo with Killjoy ult lineups. So a lot of times when you retake A, Killjoy should and would ult in this corner, leaving only this little corner open in long. And guess what? I have 3 lineups for that. Whichever you remember works for you. First lineup is you line up the top of the molly icon, the tip of the molly icon with this corner. Right here, the right side of the corner of the roof support. Shoot it like that. And it should land in this corner. Okay. This one's not as good, but still workable. Okay. Next one is better. This is the one I like using more. And is you come into this corner and you lined up between the two tip of the molly icon with this little corner here. So look at this here. I'm lining up that corner between the two tips. So like this.
Molly!
Shoot it. And it lands perfectly in this corner, denying them from running away, or forcing them to be detained, or forcing them to be burned. Another lineup is in this corner. For some reason you're rotating from farther away and you have to do it quicker from this corner, is you line up the tip of the molly icon, the two tips with the wire here between these two bulbs. Okay, so just like this. Make sure the wire is between the two tips, and then you just shoot
Molly!
It should land perfectly in this corner. This is even better if you manage to get it to work. Make sure to try it out in customs. So that's it for A site. Let's move on to B site. Alright, so for B site, there are pretty much only 3 default plant spots. One right here, planted in the middle for window, planted on the left side on C-link, and then planted for A-link. Okay, so let's just show you the first one here.
Spike drop.
Planted in the very front for window. The lineup would be from A lobby here, basically A garden. So you come into this corner, wedge yourself in the corner, and you line up with this corner of the roof here. So you lined up the inverse triangle of the shoot assist with the roof here. Just like this, right in the middle.
Molly!
Shoot it. And it should land perfectly for this bomb plant. Alright. Next up,
Got the
will be
spike.
planted on
Spike drop.
C-Link right there.
Spike here.
Again, you go back out here. And then this time you wedge yourself in the
Right
other
here.
corner here. And then you line up the bottom left of the left HUD line to this corner, okay? So right here, you see? This left corner, this line, okay? Bottom left.
Molly!
Shoot it. And it should land perfectly. Just like that. Alright. Next
Got
up
the
will be
spike.
planted for A-Link.
Spike dropped. Spike
there.
here.
I don't really plant this one as much because this lineup is actually harder to do. But show you anyway. So this
Right here.
lineup is you come into spawn and you stand in this corner, wedge yourself in this small corner. And what happened is you want to use this leaf, the bottom of this leaf as reference, this particular one, and you line up the left side of the shoot assist line right here. You see that little line? You just have it right over that leaf here, touching the left side as well.
Molly!
Shoot it, and it should clear the side of the wall and land perfectly, denying this bomb plant. And that's it for B. Let's move on to C. Alright, so here on C, there are so many different plants. Let me just show you the first one here.
Spike dropped.
Planted for very safe in this corner here. So there are 5 lineups for this spot. Okay, so the first one will be
Right
you
here.
come long into this corner and you line up your crosshair with the right side of this little top of the roof here. Like this.
Molly!
Shoot it. Should bounce off the wall and land perfectly on the bomb here. Okay, next up is not a bounce molly but a sky molly, and this one you line up the bottom left of your HUD line with this corner over here. So like this.
Molly!
Shoot it, and this will bounce on the floor and land for this plant here, covering this plant. All right, next up is, you know, you can use this one if you really want to and you really don't remember the lineups. It's just, you just come to this corner and you just peek out a little bit until you see an opening, and so you just aim right here and then it
Molly!
should land perfectly on the bomb. Okay, this is for those people that don't really want to learn lineups but still want to know some. It's just, again, let me just show you. Peek out just enough, you just aim right at this corner
Molly!
and this should clear and land perfectly on the bomb. Alright, another lineup here.
Right
You
here.
line up with this flower, walk into the wall, and you line up with the top of this electrical pole. You line up the squiggly with that. So you see, I'm lining up the squiggly to the left side of the
Molly!
pole here. Shoot it. And this should land perfectly for default plant. This one also covers,
Plant the spike.
you know, if you plant more towards the middle, which I'll show you next. Okay. And there's another lineup here from mid, from green here. So
Right
you line
here.
up with this pot over here. This one's from Ethos actually. You walk into the wall, line up with the plant, walk into the wall, and you line up with this little corner shingle. Line up tip of your molly icon to that shingle over there. Just make sure you don't aim too high. Okay, so it doesn't hit the roof. All right, so you line up the tip right there.
Molly!
Shoot it. It should land again perfectly in the middle, covering this entire bomb plant. So next plant is
Got
for
the spike.
planting more towards
Spike drop.
the middle
Spike
right
here.
here. So you can also deny the bomb from the cubby over here. So you can just wedge yourself
Right
all
here.
the way in this corner, and you line up your crosshair with the corner of this building, but you just have to aim a little to the right. That way it will bounce off that surface of the wall there. So you shoot it,
Molly!
and it should bounce perfectly, defending this bomb. Okay. There's another lineup where I actually use it more as a defensive lineup for delaying enemies from planting the bomb.
Right here.
Is you wedge yourself in this corner and you line up your crosshair just right here with this little nub sticking out of the building. Just right out here, and then you just shoot it.
Volley.
And this should land perfectly. Again, denying this entire default plant spot, forcing the enemy to have
Plant
to
the
plant
spike.
more out in the open. So next plant spot is
Got the
for
spike.
planting more towards the long.
Spike
or
drop.
long, right
Spike
in this
here.
corner, more to the long. You can also
Spike here.
plant on this edge right here, but preferably right here. Either way works. Okay. First lineup is you come here to the long again.
Right here.
In this corner, you wedge yourself in here, and you line up the left hut, the right side of the left hut line to this leaf, this bottom of this tree leaf here, the very bottom leaf. You line up the right side of the left hut line. So you shoot
Volley.
it should land perfectly for this plant. So that plant, anywhere right here. Okay. Another lineup for that is again right here from green, right in the middle.
Right here.
So you line up with this potted plant. This one is also found by Ethos. You line up with this wall, wedges walk all the way in, and this time instead of this corner, you line up with the leaf and the shingles. Okay, so you see this leaf right here. You line up the tip of the molly icon again with the shingle right there with the leaf, and then you just shoot
Volley.
it, and it should bounce perfectly again. This one will bounce off the wall and perfectly defending this plant. Also would defend the plant more towards that side as well. Another lineup, this one was found by Paris. This crazy lineup, one of the craziest.
Right here.
Is you line up with this corner here. You don't jump on top, you just line up with the side. You line up with the roof support, this corner over here. Again, you use the tip of the molly icon with that. So you line up the tip of the molly icon with that roof support. Okay, shoot
Molly.
it. This one will go through the window, bounce off the roof, and lands perfectly defending this bomb plant. Okay, this one works better
Plant the spike.
if you plant the bomb more towards this end. Okay, but this is a perfect bomb plant. Bomb
Got the spike.
defends
Spike drop.
the craziest lineup. All right, let's try it again. Paris with his craziest, most amazing lineup spot right here. Again, line up the tip of molly icon with that roof support.
Volley.
Shoot it. Come through this window, bounce off the roof, and lands perfectly, denying this defuse. All right, next up would be for
Got the
planting
spike.
for very back of the site over here, right by the
Spike drop.
double boxes. You're seeing this plant more often because a lot of times Sova mains from another team usually have lineups to defend this plant. So a lot of times you see
Spike here.
this plant more often nowadays. So the first lineup for that would be coming into this cubby and you just wedge yourself out until you see the very edge of this building right next to a platform. So you don't have to be visible to platform, but as long as you can see this gray edge, you're fine. Okay, so what happens is you line up your crosshair with the very top of the building over here. So make sure you have your crosshair just drag all the way up, line up with the very top right here.
Molly.
Shoot it. It should bounce off the wall and lands perfectly on that bomb. Another lineup is you come over here,
Right here.
to long and you line up with this leaf and these rocks. Okay, you line up the left side of the line between molly icon and smoke icon with that little corner.
Volley.
Shoot it. Again, it should land perfectly like that. All right, there's another lineup for that plant as well. Is you line
Right
up
here.
with these flowers, walk against the wall, and this time you line up with this wire and the roof. Okay, so you line up the right side of the left hut line right there. So you see, I line up that hut line to that corner.
Molly.
Shoot it. It lands perfectly on the bomb. All right, next up is for planted
Got the
back
spike.
sight. So for some reason,
Spike
you
drop.
know the enemy are all flanking you, or if it's a 1v1 situation and you know he's not coming from CT, and you plant backside, you plant
Spike
right
here.
in the middle here, you can go into CT, and you line up with this window, right in the middle of the window, you see this dot here, just line it up, walk into the wall, and you line up the tip of the molly icon right between the two flame tips with this corner over here. So like this.
Molly.
Shoot it. It lands perfectly onto the bomb. There. And this one was found by Beast Plays on YouTube again. So I had a retake lineup with Killjoy
Got the
on A
spike.
site, and I also have it here on C site. So let's say if your Killjoy wants to retake C and she ults right here in this corner, you have a lineup for back corner, which should only be this corner open for the enemy to hide,
Right here.
and you have a lineup for that spot. So what happened is you
Right
wedge
here.
yourself in this corner, and you line up with the second corner of the tile. So this is the first corner, right? This first tile of the roof, and then this is the second tile, and you line up with this corner over here, okay? You line the right side of the left hut line with that corner, and then you just pop it,
Molly.
and this lineup will land perfectly, denying enemy from hiding in this corner, allowing them to be caught in the Killjoy ultimate. So that's it for all the lineups for Haven, which you can also find from the doc in the description below. Hope these lineups will be able to help you clutch some rounds on this map and make some awesome plays. I'm going to roll some highlight clips of me pulling some of these off, and I hope to catch y'all on stream. Peace.
Smoke's down. On the money.
Oh my god, you just killed both of them.
Launching
Left side,
smoke.
left side,
And
left
beacon
side.
here.
There's two garage, there's two.
That's three.
One enemy remaining.
I don't know.
Yo, let me ace, let me
Spike
ace.
planted.
Don't kill him. I'm gonna go pee.
Launching smoke.
Last player standing.
Dude, I'm just gonna kill him.
He's mid, he's mid.
I'm gonna kill him with the lineup. I'm gonna kill him with the lineup.
Oh, what the fuck is this line?
Wait, what?
What is this line?
Don't make sound, don't make sound. Shh.
You're the only one alive.
Open up the sky. Molly.
No way.
No way,
No
bro.
way, bro.
No way.
What is this lineup?
No way. Whoa.
King is hell.
No, what is that lineup?
No,
Match point.
that was something else.
Boy, inbound.
The lineup, bro.
That shit bounced twice, bro.
Lineup from B-type, bro.
Cheers. Oh my god.
Oh, no way that just happened.
Credit to Paris again.
Headshot.
Reloading.
Both B, both B, both B.
Y'all can run a C. Go
Smoke's down.
Weapon here.
Spike planted. Smoke's down.
Could go bottom garage. Care for bottom garage. Care for bottom garage.
One enemy remaining.
Molly.
Last player standing.
Off your feet.
Last player standing.
Molly.
What a legend. Yeah, these kids are
They got it half.
Toasted.
Yeah, they got it half.
One enemy remaining. Clutch.
You're better, Calvin.
Some things you just can't teach.
What the fuck? They stuck?
Smoke's down. Open up the sky! Molly!
What the fuck?
This guy's a nerd.
This guy's a fucking rim main, bro.
LMAO.
No way, bro.
One enemy remaining. Clutch.
Some things you just can't teach.
You're so cringe.
Got him. Got him.
Good shit, bro. Good shit.
Spike planted.
One enemy
Right
remaining.
you in the eyes. Open up the sky!
He even got one right.
Molly!
Oh my
What is
god.
this magic? What is this? What the what? Is this pinball?
He's fucking his.
Clutch.
Oh my fucking
That's
god.
why they put me in charge.
What? God.
Match point.
They're desperate.
Wait, I didn't know you can shoot through those cracks in B.
Did you find that at least?
Yeah, he got a whole document of Molly.
I'm in a bad spot.
I'm betting
here.
low.
Last player standing.
Open up the sky! Deep from Molly!
I love you, bro.
Good job, Brim. Easy. Easy, sorry, bad. Die.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
I love you, Brim.
Nice, 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 nice.
I love you, Brim.
Switching
Got it.
sides. Overtime.
Brim, I fucking love you, man. I had no faith in that round until I saw what lined up right there, Brim. You got a fat cock. Can we do that again?
Last player standing.
Open up the sky! Molly!
What is that, Mom?
What the fuck?
No. No.
Toasted!
You're insane.
Clutch.
Fuck is that?
Some things you just can't teach.
I've never seen that lineup before.
Oh my.
Program player.
Need a
dude.
drop.
Dude, I've never seen that Molly before.
Oh my god, thank you, Paris. I would give all this credit to Paris.
Sky! Molly!
Sorry, they don't have it.
Clutch.
Let's go, Brim. Line
Sorry.
up.
If I didn't whiff that shot though.
You missed it.
Last player
Open up the
standing.
sky! Molly!
Good job, Brim.
Sit still!
One enemy remaining. Clutch.
That's why they put me in charge.
I knew that timing was perfect when you fucking ulted.
Match
and lined
point.
it up. Good shit, man.
end it now. Once more.
They still got rifles, or at least 4 of them can.
End it right now.